Sure you do. Now, did that jump to you? It came, it's part of your bloodline. Now, is it considered a curse? Well, a curse, I can find what a curse is in a minute, but it was passed down to you. Now, the question is how you going to deal with it. The question is whether you have it or not, the blood work will take you through. The question is how you deal with it. And you can go back, if you know your family enough, you can figure it out. Now that you know that, then now what we do about it. So we're going to talk about it today. So in our lives, we see things that our family do. That's one reason why a lot of us end up getting saved, because we were trying to counter what we was doing and what our family was doing, because we saw that it was destructive. So the salvation was the only reason why you not doing it now. Some of us in our family had problems with alcohol. They had problems with drugs. Some problems with certain diseases. Some with problems with like high blood pressure. You know, that's relevant in our community. But I know who had high blood pressure in my family. So that's why, but nowadays, with the information we know how to deal with it. Not only as far as praying about healing, but also how to prevent it from a natural way, how we know what to eat and not to eat. You can't go out and every day throw lard and grease in your fry pan and cook fried food every day and you expect it's not going to affect them in your body. We know your arteries gonna get, you got issues with that. You know, it causes, when that happens and your blood pressure get raised, if you don't exercise, that's gonna be a problem. A lot of stuff we bring on ourselves. And we may cook and eat the way we was brought up. Well, a lot of times, a lot of us, depending on age, what your age is, we didn't know no different. We knew some things, but we know more now than ever. So now I'm not saying that's a curse. I'm just saying it's a generational thing that you have to come up, you got to deal with yourself, because you know that you can't eat like that no more. It's a generational issue. But see, back in the day, when your family fed you certain things, they were called filler foods. How many people know what filler foods are? A lot of stuff is starch that fills you up so you won't get hungry. That's why those pancakes was big as plates. Because you eat a couple of pancakes and some syrup, or back in the day, eat those homemade biscuits, it'll fill you up quick. But it's full of starch, which means full of carbs. Now you're not gonna walk. Are you gonna walk around here eating these gigantic pancakes? What they call the pancakes? I mean, they be so big. Are you gonna be eating that and dumping syrup and butter all over that every day? Are you gonna be eating fat back like we used to eat? By the time you bite on, the grease just come right off and fall on your clothes. It's full of grease. And the lard that was used for the fish yesterday is used in the morning for the same thing. How many people remember using the lard right there on top of the stove? And then the next day they use the same stuff. But whatever you ate yesterday, you're tasting that today too. Y'all know what I'm talking about, some of y'all. Nobody had no Crisco or Western oil. So the thing is, certain things that we learn from our family, from a natural standpoint, we know not to do anymore. They ain't got nothing to do with the spirit. They got to do with your natural side. That's why you got to balance the two. See, in the Old Testament, man had to make atonement for their sins by blood sacrifices, because a lot of things was passed down from generation to another. For it's the blood that makes atonement for the soul. So it's the blood that makes atonement for us as far as our salvation. Just because certain behavior occurred in your family does not mean it has to happen to you or you have to do the same thing. That's why we have to be aware of these generational issues. But we now know that Jesus died for our sins. The blood that he shed on the cross has made atonement for the sins that we and our family has done. You don't have to sacrifice any animals. The atonement is already done when you accepted who? Jesus Christ as